So my new single, my first single that's dropping under Roc Nation, since I signed with Roc Nation, is called Soju. We got 2 Chainz on there. If Russians have vodka, if the Japanese have sake, Koreans have soju. So I wanted to kind of bring something over from my culture and introduce myself in the proper form. Usually, you pour it for each other. You never pour it yourself, it's bad luck. And if you're pouring it for your elders, pour with 2 hands. Enjoying it with friends, just pour it. You guys are the first people that wanted to try it like on the spot. That's what's up. So who's trying to try it? You guys all try to try it or what?
Yeah, if there's enough.
There should be yeah. You've been lit before. I'm not like this a bit. You fucking with the best. Come back, Mass Appeal, open space. J Park, Soju, let's get it. My parents were born in Korea, and they met in Seattle, and so I grew up there. When I turned about 18, 19, that's when I moved to Korea. So I started b-boying in high school. Well, you see kind of people just fooling around like during lunch or in the hallways or whatnot. And it's like, oh, and I like dancing. I was like, oh, I should try that. And then so I just tried it in my living room. It's like, oh, this is fun. I got more into it, started going to like, the session, like the local sessions, like what the rec centers and YMCAs and whatnot. Got down with a crew. Ever since then, it's kind of like we still with the same crew, still battle. We battled like a couple months ago. Didn't win, but still, it's all good. I was the leader of the group, 2 p.m. The whole reason I went over to Korea was because I got casted to be in the group. Was in artist development, I guess you could say. Was a trainee or whatever for about 4 years. Was in the group for about a year. And then, just some drama happened, and when I departed from the group and started doing my solo thing, that's when I had more control over music in my career, and that's when I really started, just going in on the music. It's definitely like a machine, they're very well polished. The choreography is super on point. They got everything down to like a formula, to a T. So that's why it can't fail, you know what I'm saying? I mean, what I do is a little bit different, a little bit more organic, a little bit more natural, I guess. My music really represents me as a person, as an artist. I definitely kind of paved my own way for myself. You say like, yeah, you establish yourself in the hip hop world, but it wasn't not an easy road, It's kind of like I had a lot of obstacles. Just me not being able to speak the language. My Korean was definitely not up to standard. Even now it's like I understand maybe and can read and write and do like maybe 85, 90%. But before it was at like 20%. And me being from a group, like a boy band background and whatnot, everybody was very, very skeptical. But, it's like if you just keep at it, it took about 7, 8 years, but here I am today. There's a show out there, it's called Show Me the Money, but it's similar to The Voice, but with rap. That's one of the shows that really kind of took hip hop and rap to a kind of mainstream place in Korea. I was one of the producers or judges on there twice. It has its, advantages and disadvantages. The plus side, you got a lot of people who don't get the opportunity to, present themselves on these big platforms, and they get their music out, they get their story out. When that show airs, it's the biggest thing. And that's kind of the downside of it is everybody thinks of rap and hip hop as the show. If it's not affiliated with the show, they're not really looking for it. And that's kind of where we, me and all the other rappers and people who are kind of pioneers, I guess, need to, put in the work and really put on for the culture. Felt like, me as myself, I needed someone to kind of, a crew to bounce around ideas and to feed off each other and just to have fun making music, because it was just me and the engineer. Everybody I was working with was, in the States. So I kind of felt very alone in this music journey. And also a lot of people, a lot of labels, I feel like their business is not official in terms of being transparent. And so I was like, yo, okay, if I want to avoid that, I just need to start my own label. So I established AOMG 2013. My management at the time didn't really agree with it. My parents was like, oh, it's too big of a risk. But if I believe in it, if I see the vision, like, I just need to go with my gut and just go with it, despite what anyone says. And it turned out for the best. It's like one of the biggest, labels out there right now. So, hip hop labels. AOMG, we had a tour, a label tour in the States a couple years back. And one of the stops was New York. Well, Jason from Tidal came through to the show. he was expecting like a K-pop group, like us to do choreography and whatnot. And of course I dance, but you know, he saw like people rapping and saw like the crowd was mostly non-Asian, sold out, singing along to all the songs, and I guess it kind of like got to him. He was like, oh, he was like touched, I guess. I dropped an album called Everything You Wanted. It's like half English, half Korean. They heard the album and they saw I had like 4 or 5 music videos drop within like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So they just saw the rollout we had and was like, wow, this is crazy. Like, what do you think about, you know, doing, you know, being signed to the label? And I was like, yo, that's of course. So I was like, yo, let's do it. And ever since then, it's kind of like we've been rocking with each other, and now Soju is coming out, and it's crazy. Soju is the first single off my EP coming out of Roc Nation. It's called Ask About Me. If you listen to the project, you could see kind of how versatile I am, because I do sing and I do rap, and all of it's in-house production. It's all from AOMG and Higher Music. It's kind of like my introduction to the US. So it's like, if you don't know, like, ask about me, you'll find out. My work is like my life, you know. I eat, breathe, and you know, live this shit. So it's kind of like everything revolves around what I do.